Hello and welcome to Athavan News. It is 20th February 2016 and this is Devaraja Mayuran with the news highlights of today's English dailies. The headline of Daily Mirror says bribery cases, ex-CJ Bandaranayake acquitted. Former Chief Justice Shirani Bandaranayake was acquitted and released by the Colombo Chief Magistrate Jihan Pilapitiya yesterday in the three cases filed against her by the Bribery Commission for non-declaration of assets in 2010, 2011 and 2012. Senior State Counsel Dilan Ratnayake, who appeared for the Bribery Commission, informed the court that it would withdraw all three ongoing cases against the former CJ. Another news says tension over the Dalada Maligawa Road. A tense situation prevailed in Kandy yesterday afternoon when one group of people demanded that the Kandy Mahiyangana Road opposite the Dalada Maligawa be opened, while another group demanded that this stretch of road be kept closed. We have a right to express our views, GMOA tells PM. A day after Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe hit out at the Government Medical Officers Association and some media institutions, the GMOA said it hoped the Prime Minister would realize that as a professionals association, it had the right to express its views on any matter of public interest. Rejecting the Prime Minister's claims that the GMOA was backing former President Mahinda Rajapaksa, the GMOA said it was disappointed over the Premier's statement. The news below it says ETCA will lead to more deals in future, says joint opposition. The joint opposition yesterday charged that the proposed economic agreement between Sri Lanka and India would lead to many future agreements, such as the previously abandoned Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement. Issuing a statement, it said in reality the government was intending to sign an economic and technical cooperation framework agreement, which only sets a framework for future agreements instead of an economic and technical cooperation agreement. Another news says UNP also focusing on third level leadership, says Ranil. Focusing on the future prospects of the United National Party, Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said yesterday it was time to prepare a third level of leadership to take over the party when the senior leaders retire. With that story, let me move to the news highlights of today's daily news, whose headline says former CJ acquitted of corruption cases. The Colombo Chief Magistrate yesterday ordered to acquit and release former Chief Justice Dr. Shirani Bandaranayake from three corruption cases following the Bribery Commission's decision to withdraw the cases without being proceeded. The news at the top with a photograph says President arrives in Austria. President Maithripala Sirisena arrived at the Vienna International Airport yesterday for a two-day state visit to Austria. Ambassador Dr. Betnia Kambor, Chief of Protocol of Federal Ministry for Europe, Integration and Foreign Affairs of Austria, warmly welcomed the President at the airport upon arrival. And the news says NPC Minister assaulted. Northern Provincial Council Minister R. Indra Raja was assaulted by a group of persons at Uklangulam around 7 p.m. on February 18 while he was returning home on his motorbike after visiting the residence of a 13-year-old schoolgirl of Vamaniya Vipulananda Vidyalaya who died recently. And the news says protest against the UNHRC chief's visit, Vimal, 6 NFF activists noticed to appear in court. National Freedom Front leader and parliamentarian Vimal Veeravansa and 6 other party activists who staged a protest march against the visit of United Nations High Commissioner of Human Rights Saeed Rad Al Hussain were yesterday noticed to appear before the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court on March 18 for allegedly providing leadership to a protest which blocks the main roads of Baudulaga Mawatha, causing disturbance to the people and the normal flow of traffic. The news below it says nobody wants to drive Mahinda Rajapaksa out of SLFP. Nobody wants to drive former President Mahinda Rajapaksa out of the SLFP, Petroleum Resources Development Minister Chandima Veerakudi said, referring to Rajapaksa's comment to the media on Thursday that nobody could force him out of the SLFP. The minister observed the SLFP would go forward under the leadership of President Maithripala Sirisena and nobody would be able to split the party. The news below it says voice of genuine opposition is suppressed, says Kehalia. Joint opposition members believe that the voice of the genuine opposition is suppressed, not to be heard by the world, opposition parliamentarian Kahalia Rambukvela said. They made these observations yesterday at the press conference at the Dr. N.M. Pereira Center in Borala. Rambukvela said at the press conference that the foreign diplomats who visit Sri Lanka meet the President, Prime Minister, Foreign Minister and the leader of the opposition who has only 14 seats and also the Northern Province Chief Minister. With that story, let me have a quick glance on the news highlights of today's Ceylon Today, whose headline also says Shirani acquitted on all counts. As we have already known the story, I just moved to the next news. Governor Kure takes over NP. Former Minister Reginald Kure yesterday took over reins as the third governor of the Northern Province. Governor Kure ceremonially assumed duties at the Governor's Secretariat located at the Old Park premises in Jaffna. Former Governor HMGS Palihakara retired recently. President Maithripala Sirisena appointed Kure as the new governor of the Northern Province on February 14. Another story says SLFB hits back at renegades. The SLFB mulling legal action against 450 of its members of local government bodies which have been dissolved and from some others which are expected to be shortly dissolved too. The news below it says Constitutional Assembly proposal in Parliament for ratification on 25 February. The proposal to convert Parliament into a Constitutional Assembly will be tabled in the House for ratification on 25th February. The debate to convert Parliament into a Constitutional Assembly with the objective of introducing a new constitution is slated to start at 9:30 am, while the vote is to be taken at or around 7:30 pm on the same day. Though the proposal was submitted for ratification twice before, this was put off following the submission of new amendments by the joint opposition and the JVP. Another news says government wants Athavan arrested. Negotiations on with EU. The government has begun negotiations with a few European Union nations in an effort to seek their support to arrest and repatriate to Sri Lanka the notorious and still active Norway-based LTTE leader Perenbanayagam Sivaparan alias Athavan, who is believed to be fitting from one European country and to another to dodge detection. PM President to consider your recognition. Discussion on Monday or Tuesday. A crucial discussion will be held between President Maithripala Sirisena and Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe either next Monday or Tuesday, informed political sources said. The two leaders will be addressing the possibility of allowing the joint opposition to be recognized as an independent group in Parliament. The news beside it says Lasanda's killers, pen sketchers, police inundated with calls. The police department has been inundated with information after the publication of the pen sketchers of the two main suspects in the killing of Sunday leader editor Lasanda Wickrematunge in local newspaper yesterday. With that story, I just wrap up today's news highlights. Join us tomorrow too. Have a nice day. Goodbye.